Mauricio Romero. I'm in 11th grade. I'm a junior, and I go to Belen Jesuit.
Awesome. Thank you. What happened that made you realize that you needed our service?
I knew that I was going into SAT and that I needed someone to tutor and like tutor me because I knew I wasn't gonna get a good score to get into the school I wanted to without a tutor. And I knew the main weak point like that I had seen in my PSAT scores was the math section. So I knew I needed mainly a math tutor.
Had you taken a PSAT at the time?
Yeah, I took like my school does it mandatory, so I took one in ninth grade and in 10th grade too, and also like this year.
And when you took that, was that kind of like was you getting that score back kind of what prompted you to be like, man, I need some help or no, something else?
Well, I mean, I always knew I was gonna need it. Like, I wasn't like someone who's naturally like really like I guess gifted like that. That I could just take a SET without even like any prep. I did think I had like the capabilities of getting a good score. I just knew I needed help, and the PSATs obviously like showed me that because the most I was getting was like an 1120 or an 1170 on the PSAT.
How'd you guys even hear about us?
Out of talks to senior friends, and like who had already like did it, and I asked him like, "Who are you using to tutor?" And they said Piece of Pie, and at that point it was just like a name that I had heard once, but then like everywhere I went, like whenever the SAT got brought up into conversation, I'd ask like, "Oh, who are you doing?" They're like, "Oh, Piece of Pie." Oh, who are you doing, Piece of Pie? And at one point, my friends were doing it. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm in." Like, I knew
What's
I
your
was in.
I mean, heard it all day, and then like as soon as you got a friend in there,
No,
that's
it was it was multiple, but yeah.
nice. Taking it back before that though, right before, if you hadn't done tutoring and you had stayed with your PSAT score that you had already before, right? Why would that have been a problem for you?
Everybody knows that the SAT is like one of the most important parts. It's like, I mean, at least for me, I think it's like half of your college applications. And especially if you're not, doing as well in school as you like think you can be, I feel like the SAT is something that could really like help you out, like bring you back up to where you can be in that sense. And I thought, my grades at school, they're good. They could be better, but they're good. And but I knew that if I wanted to get into like the schools that I really wanted to get into, I needed to get a good SAT score, and an 1170 wasn't gonna do that for me.
What schools were you looking at, or are
I
you
mean,
still
the main
looking
one would be UF, obviously, and that's getting really competitive. And then just any like good school, a lot of them still look at test scores, and I knew that the SAT was gonna be like really important.
What score did you know that you had to get, more or less?
So obviously, I was aiming for like minimum like a 1350 because I really wanted to get bright futures so I could get like any school in Florida free. And then obviously, any higher than that would be great. But like the bare minimum would have been 1350. And at this point, like now I'm shooting for maybe like a 1450. That's possible.
I like what I'm hearing. And in terms of like math at the time, would you say that math was a strength or not really?
I've been strong at math. The problem is that I never really like applied myself when it came to math. And then that's what kind of brought me down. And I've always been stronger at reading than math. I've just I guess like liked it more. And I knew that like in the PSATs I always got like an average score with reading. I'd get like a 680 or like a 670. So I knew I would be fine with reading. I knew the biggest problem would be math because the math was the only one that I didn't see improvement in between years. Both years I took the PSAT, I got the same exact score in math. I think it was like a five, like a mid fives. Yeah, I knew that math was gonna be the main topic.
Had you done any tutoring before us or no?
No, I actually hadn't. Like, you guys were the first people I went to because I knew it was gonna be the best one. Like, I didn't want to waste any time. I thought I was late, so I'm like, okay, let me just go straight to the boss, I guess.
To the boss. I like that. What was your expectation of the virtual group learning environment?
My expectation was that I honestly didn't know what I was expecting. Like I wasn't sure, but I mean, it definitely exceeded my expectations. They were like really nice and helpful. Um, it was just really long, but like other than that, like they kept you like locked in. Like you couldn't. that was the main thing that really got me. And like, obviously, maybe like while you're doing it, it's annoying, but like at the end of the day, you realize that it's the most important part is that they don't let you like zone out. Like if you don't answer a question, like one question, if you don't answer like fast, they're calling your name. They're calling on you. So like you can't like zone out. You can't not answer a question. You can't be like, oh, maybe she won't notice that I don't know it. No, you're gonna get called on if you try to like play around.
You stay locked in.
Yeah, stay locked in.
Was that the main way that it was different from COVID year, like COVID virtual?
Oh yeah. Oh, like in school, like COVID was terrible because you could kind of just like point your camera up and like be on your phone all day. But yeah.
Heidi, did you have any concerns coming in?
No, I don't.
She was ready.
It was
You
very good. I think it was a very nice course, and I had my older son years ago, and I suffered a lot, different tutorings here and there, but I think you guys have very, very strict control on works and homeworks, classes, and keep us involved in that. That is good because I know, hey, Mauricio, you didn't answer that, you didn't respond to homework, whatever. Ah, yeah, yeah. So I think that's a very good part that you involve parents in the tutoring.
in the chat, did your mom get on your in your
Chat.
case a lot, bro?
Yeah, the chat is dangerous. The chat is dangerous. Exactly. You do your homework fearing that like someone's gonna send a message in the chat. You know when you don't have your homework done, you're awaiting the message in the chat, and you're hoping that it comes after you already had your fun in the weekend. But yeah, like
You think I'm crazy, bro? I'm like Saturday morning. I'm like, we hit him now. Like, because
you guys are
otherwise you
watching it
start,
at the right time.
bro, because I was that age. So I already know, like, if you don't stop me by 12 o'clock, I'm out with my friends or something. So I'm like, guys, we got to send it at 9.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just in case. I mean, if you did your work, you wouldn't have a problem.
Exactly, exactly. That like you learn from your mistakes and you start, doing your work as early as possible so that you don't get the messages in the chat because that's
But listen, you did your work, bro.
yeah, yeah.
A lot more than other people. So I want to actually thank you.
But yeah, I heard I have some friends who had their meetings about not doing their work.
Oh, that's awesome. It was one of your friends. Yeah, I will have a meeting with you. I will. You'll tell me later who it is. I love hearing this. I
Yeah,
forget, bro. I do pick some people and I'm like, listen, bro, we got to have a conversation. Um, but yeah, I'm glad, bro, that you did your stuff. So, if another student asked you, how would you describe our service?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't take this wrong. It's annoying, but once you're done with it, you're gonna understand everything, and you're gonna be really happy that you took it. Because I mean, what my mom says about my brother is that she had a bunch of tutorings, and then like he'd always go and, oh, I didn't do my homework, I couldn't, whatever, and they just get whatever done, whatever. But here they're on top of you, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, this piece of pie is like, oh, now I have to go to
At work.
class, Monday, the work, the homework. But then once you get that good score that you wanted, or even more than you were expecting, that's when like you start realizing like, hey, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe it could have been a lot worse.
Look, man, I don't live in a fairy tale land, bro. Like, this is math. It's an SAT, right? This isn't fun for most people. Let's be real. Unless you want to be an engineer, all right, maybe math is fun for you. But even then, it's like it's a stressful test that requires way more work than most of you have ever had to do. Not gonna be fun. I mean, we'll make it. We try our best to make class not like too bad, but like at the end of the day, it's what you said. It's we have a goal, and that's our main objective. It's let's get you to not have to worry about this test once you're done with this. Like you don't have to worry about it. So you grind for 10 weeks. That's how I think about it. You grind for 10 weeks and you're done.
Yeah, I couldn't
How
agree
you
more.
feel?
I grinded for 10 weeks, and once I got out of it, I was like, oh, I'm done. And then I got my score, and I was like, I get it now. And then
Well, so ultimately, what result did we help you get? Your final score and your total improvement.
the PSAT, or at least everyone tells me that like it's easier, and it's also out of like less. And on the PSAT, I was getting a 540. So I mean, from a 540 to a 730 is a big jump. And I do say like a lot of the topics that we did in the math that like we learned about, like I feel like some of them are like I don't think I had ever like seen before, but a lot of them like was stuff that I had done, but either I didn't pay attention to it in school, or it went in through 1 year I regurgitated on tests and forgot about it for the rest of my life, things like that. And then stuff that I did in eighth, ninth grade, and it's all pretty simple math. The problem is that like you have to know so many different things, like a huge scope of it. That was a good thing that like you guys helped me lock everything down so that come test day I already knew everything.
That's awesome, man. And so what has this result meant for you?
First of all, it showed me that it's possible, and now I know like if I put in more work, I could get even like an even better score. I know that like I, I worked really hard during the course, but I know even if I really wanted to, I could have worked even harder. So I know that if I can't, like if you go 100%, you're gonna get 100%, and you get what you put in. Exactly, you get what you put in. So maybe I could have gone harder in the course, but I got like basically what I put in. And if you go 100% on this course, you're gonna get the score like you think you could get.
Awesome, bro. Did you end up getting any scholarships yet or no?
No, no.
Yeah, don't you qualify for Bright Futures?
Oh yeah, bright futures. Yeah.
So congrats, bro. Hey, like I said, you did as much as you were like, this is whatever that you did the work, and that's all that matters. And you
Yes.
got what you deserved. Cool.
Cool.
I appreciate you, bro.
Have a good night.
Of course. Keep me posted
Good
about
luck,
how
man.
you're scoring your journey, bro. That's all.
All right. Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later, guys. Bye.